we are almost out of the early 2000s. One thing you have to know in terms of continuity, we just lost two big heavy hitters. Two really fallen beloved ones that made music and that made entertainment worthwhile and definitely worth living. I'm talking about Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. Now, one thing I know about Ozzy straight off the bat is that he is the biggest industrial figure of all time. Everyone wants to be like him. My stepmother is just like him, and every single mother Southern household takes after him. He is bigger than Michael Jackson when it comes to music and entertainment as a whole, because what he was he was a leader. He was tall. He was really tall. Gorilla doesn't even want to fuck with him. Even though I was saving that for two separate videos, one thing you have to know about me and Ozzy Osbourne is that I recognize that his stature due to his knowledge, how to put on for children and how to pass it down for generations. Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, partake in his forte. I think it's even deeper about Ozzy Osbourne that you need to know is that he loved people. Even though Michael Jackson is confused as a leader, he is not so good with kids. Hulk Hogan literally was one of the biggest stars known to mankind. That's why literally in the old days, we thought it was unreal. Like this guy that looks like he could bench 3 tanks wasn't in the Olympics. Okay, anyway, enough flattery for this video. Into the real deal in the degree of this video. So the whole point of why I'm saying this is because of why early 2000s was so much more animated than the 2010s. It's like after Animal Planet, there's no organic life form left for mainstream media. And what I mean by that, you see how Hulk and Ozzy had detail on top of detail? There's no detail in mainstream media today. In fact, literally, they make shows that defeat the purpose. But one thing's for sure, literally, I just know that one guy, one kid, brought it back to the world where you can absorb. Fully put on for Indian people. And guess what happened? A loophole happened. That means they had to accept that this is the old ways of the old world. Kept on being illogical and kept on spreading things out. This is what ended up happening. Somebody big, like the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Sarah, died because somebody literally was a big around these times and came 10 times harder. So OGs like Hulk and Ozzy couldn't handle the air pressure. Meaning they already beat their uncle. Don't want to do that encyclopedia shit. Makes black guys with green eyes score higher. I didn't have to do all that. What's this for a wire hanger? This is stupid shit. Huh? Literally asking them to do things that are not even of human evolution just because a black kid figured it out. Look at what they achieved. And because they forced black people literally to work so much harder, literally it does hit them like, yo, I should have done that with my uncle. Hey, there wasn't a filter literally for 10 years. I was this and that literally relied on organic content in order to be outmuscled by somebody, outwilled by somebody. But literally, let's back up for a little bit. Because Tyler Perry's last movie was super organic. Let's just backtrack a little bit. Who do we have left from the early 2000s? We have Vin Diesel. I'm talking about people who aren't dying anytime soon. We're pretty much done with him in terms of continuity, but not health. We have Dwayne Rock Johnson, who's really getting old. Literally in steroids popped a blood vessel. Let's be honest, literally, most of the people literally who make music for the early 2000s, like Maroon 5, every single backup singer like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, all in the insane asylum and have been there for years. Let's just be honest, literally, the reason why I'm making for this video isn't because Ozzy and Hulk died, was because the early 2000s are defeating the purpose of themselves. What happened to our brother's generation, literally, when the real Slim Shady came out, his generation lived to versus what my generation went through was so much different. Because they're so fucking complex when it comes to scheming by Sauce, literally, Eminem, being animated at school, literally, somebody has sketchers, another person had drawings and said the right thing at the right time. There's so many chemicals and formulas when they're supposed to be the same age to take on their family. And they fucked it off where it hides, just like my generation. And I'm saying these things because literally what makes you good in the old world in terms of stature is like Tiger Woods' monument and Millennial Mint. But we still have Britney, literally. Taylor Swift might come through. To be honest, what I mean by that is that literally they're crumbling because we're at literally the age of where it stands for, but not what it means. We're defeating the meaning constantly. I want to take it easy, not challenging, not putting ourselves to a test. That's why I said, only a few real ones, a handful are left. It's 2025, and where we're at on evolution, we are so fucked lately because we established that kids are spoiled in school, but don't have advanced technology. Like the smartphone when I was in school, but we should have flying skateboards, hovering cars. We're fucking dope because of the generation before. and duration before that. Remember, what made the old world special was reading. Reading gives you literally a boost to the old world because what does it enhances your vision. Literally, it makes you think literally way more quickly, faster. Remember, the old world is about everything. Organisms, life forms, archaeologists. And I'm not counting Kevin Hart because even though he was in Scary Movie 3, he's corny as hell. Just wondering who's gonna die next. I'm really not figuring out why it's been such a clusterfuck, because if you haven't noticed, literally last year with the two characters from Pokemon dying from Team Rocket, everything about the old world, literally what voice actors went through, what musicians went through. Every musician was secretly autistic. The meaning was literally they helped themselves and got themselves together because they didn't want to be in some Rain Man shit forever. Also, I want this world to be taken over by My Hero Academia. Since Naruto was misleading, Naruto did was they hit you with a street smart principle that led you on thinking that if you get your life together, you can still be a little kid. You can have value in life. In reality, if you see this weird, slow, stop motion, action-like cartoon come into play, it will teach you how to enjoy the little things step by step. Plus, there's a word that goes in the early 2000s that makes things different, that brings a big twist to continuity. The word in the actual gang is blood. Blood is the theme of the early 2000s. It's how you understand certain rap. There's some shit that's not even entertaining, literally, unless you actually join the gang of blood. Like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You see how literally, there's a thing with Carlton. Will Smith is always wearing fresh outfits. There's some swag here and there, but for the younger brother, it looks retarded. Because the older brother went to Blood Being and see what they were doing. That's why it's called the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Anyway, this is Mood Tricks, and I'm expecting 2030.